The Quraysh tribe was one of the most influential groups in Arabia and early Islam. As custodians of Mecca, they shaped the political, economic, and religious life of the region. Their legacy is deeply tied to the rise of Islam and the Middle East's transformation. The Quraysh were more than a tribe. They were a powerful socio-political force. This essay explores their origins, influence, and enduring legacy. The Quraysh trace their lineage to Fir ibn Malik, a descendant of Adnan, traditionally considered an ancestor of the northern Arab tribes. Sources like Ibn Ishaq and Ibn Hisham note that the Quraysh belonged to the larger Kinana tribe before becoming distinct. Their name is believed to come from the Arabic verb takarush, meaning to gather together. Before Islam, the Quraysh were a loose coalition of families and clans, not a unified tribe. Yet, their strong sense of kinship helped them consolidate power in Mecca. Migration and settlement in the Hejaz positioned them strategically, shaping their identity and ambitions. Mecca's location in the Hejaz was not accidental. It was a strategic crossroad for trade routes linking southern Arabia, the Levant, and the Horn of Africa. The Quraysh settled here, recognizing the city's potential as both a spiritual and commercial hub. Archaeological evidence places Mecca's founding around the 4th century CE, with the Quraysh consolidating control by the late 5th century. Migration patterns in the Arabian Peninsula were shaped by environmental and economic factors. The Quraysh capitalized on Mecca's position, sitting at the heart of caravan routes. This allowed them to control the flow of goods, people, and ideas. The Kaaba, already a revered sanctuary, further elevated the city's status, attracting pilgrims from across Arabia. The Quraysh's settlement in Mecca marked a turning point in Arabian history. They not only controlled the city but also managed its religious and commercial affairs. Their stewardship of the Kaaba strengthened their legitimacy among neighboring tribes, granting them both spiritual and temporal authority. Through careful migration and settlement, the Quraysh established themselves as the gatekeepers of Mecca. This role would prove central to their rise as a dominant force in pre-Islamic Arabia. The Quraysh transformed Mecca into an economic powerhouse through their mastery of trade and commerce. They organized and led caravans that traversed the Arabian Peninsula, connecting Yemen in the south to Syria and Palestine in the north. Historical records from Ibn Sa'd and al-Tabari document their extensive trading partnerships. Key commodities included spices, incense, textiles, leather, and precious metals. The Quraysh brokered deals with major powers such as the Byzantine and Persian empires. Their caravans followed well-established routes, protected by treaties with Bedouin tribes. This security allowed commerce to flourish, making Mecca a prosperous city despite its arid environment. The economic activity orchestrated by the Quraysh had far-reaching effects. It not only enriched their own tribe, but also benefited Mecca's citizens and visiting pilgrims. The annual pilgrimage season brought additional wealth, as traders and worshippers from across Arabia converged on the city. The Quraysh's economic acumen laid the foundations for their political and social influence. Their ability to generate and manage wealth solidified their dominance in the region. Political authority in Mecca was concentrated in the hands of the Quraysh. Their tribal structure consisted of several powerful clans, including Banu Hashim, Banu Umayyah, and Banu Makhzum. Leadership rotated among these families, with positions such as the custodian of the Kaaba, known as Sikaya, and the standard-bearer, or Liwa, being especially prestigious. The Quraysh exercised their authority through a council of elders known as the Dar al-Nadwa. This body made decisions on matters of trade, security, and diplomacy. Their system of governance was pragmatic and adaptive, ensuring stability and continuity in the face of changing circumstances. Socially, the Quraysh maintained a rigid hierarchy. Wealthy merchants and clan leaders occupied the top ranks, while freedmen, clients, and slaves held lower status. Social mobility was limited, but successful traders could sometimes rise through the ranks. The combination of political power and social cohesion enabled the Quraysh to maintain control over Mecca and mediate conflicts both within and beyond the city's walls. In pre-Islamic Arabia, The Quraysh played a central role in cultural and religious life. They were the guardians of the Kaaba, which housed idols representing the deities of numerous Arabian tribes. This role gave them immense prestige and allowed them to act as mediators in tribal disputes. The Quraysh hosted the annual pilgrimage, or Hajj, which drew visitors from across the peninsula. This event was both a religious gathering and a commercial opportunity, further enhancing Mecca's status as a cosmopolitan center. The Quraysh established rules and rituals that governed the conduct of pilgrims, reinforcing their leadership. Despite their power, the Quraysh faced challenges from rival tribes and internal factions. Raids, feuds, and shifting alliances were common in the politically fragmented landscape of Arabia. The Quraysh's diplomatic skills and strategic marriages helped them navigate these threats and maintain their dominance. By the 6th century CE, the Quraysh had achieved a level of influence unmatched by any other Arabian tribe, setting the stage for the momentous changes that would follow. The rise of Islam in the early 7th century dramatically altered the trajectory of the Quraysh. Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, was born into the Banu Hashim clan of the Quraysh. His message of monotheism and social reform challenged the established order. Initially, most Quraysh leaders opposed Muhammad, fearing that Islam would undermine their authority and disrupt Mecca's religious economy. Conflict soon erupted between Muhammad's followers and the Quraysh elite. Key events included the boycott of the Banu Hashim, the migration, or Hijra, to Medina in 622 CE, and a series of battles such as Badr, Uhud, and the Trench. Despite early resistance, the Quraysh gradually recognized the strength of the Islamic movement. The turning point came with the peaceful conquest of Mecca in 630 CE. Muhammad granted amnesty to former adversaries, integrating many Quraysh leaders into the new Islamic state. Their skills in administration and trade were harnessed to spread Islam across Arabia and beyond. The Quraysh's role in early Islam was both adversarial and transformative, shaping the faith's development and expansion. The legacy of the Quraysh extended well beyond the lifetime of the Prophet Muhammad. Members of the tribe played pivotal roles in the leadership of the Muslim community. The first 4 caliphs, known as the Rashidun, were either from the Quraysh or closely linked to them. The Umayyad and Abbasid dynasties, which ruled vast Islamic empires, also traced their lineage to Quraysh clans. Their administrative practices and cultural values influenced Islamic governance for centuries. The Quraysh's emphasis on trade, diplomacy, and social order became hallmarks of Islamic civilization. Their descendants continued to occupy prominent positions in religious, political, and economic life across the Middle East. The Quraysh's stewardship of the Kaaba and Mecca ensured that the city remained the spiritual heart of Islam. Annual pilgrimages continued to unite Muslims from diverse backgrounds, reinforcing the tribe's historical significance. Today, the Quraysh are remembered as both the custodians of tradition and agents of change. Their influence persists in the institutions and cultural memory of the Islamic world. The Quraysh tribe's story is one of resilience, adaptation, and enduring influence. From their origins in the deserts of Arabia, they rose to become the stewards of Mecca and key architects of Islamic civilization. Their leadership in trade, politics, and religion shaped the destinies of millions across continents. Major events such as the rise of Islam, the conquest of Mecca, and the establishment of dynasties rooted in Quraysh lineage underscore their lasting importance. The tribe's legacy is visible in the continued centrality of Mecca, the structure of Islamic governance, and the enduring prestige of their name. The Quraysh remind us that history is shaped not only by ideas, but by those who carry them forward. Their story prompts us to reflect on the factors that enable tribes and nations to rise, adapt, and leave a mark on the world. As we consider the Quraysh's impact, one open question remains. How might the lessons of their rise, governance, and adaptation inform the challenges facing societies in the modern Middle East and beyond?